Hello and welcome, Lynx here. We are playing Chronotopia, second skin, and this is actually a night recording. First time in a while. I might actually need to switch to that. That's kind of correct. Back to the night schedule sort of thing. Let's see how this goes. I will definitely not be able to be too loud. Because why would I wake up neighbors, right? Anyway, the young woman's distress did not stay unpunished for long. Soon after, great festivities were announced. Wow. Wait, I have not... Oh, damn. I have not been recording for a while. I did prepare a bit ahead, and here we go. But I've been busy here. Anyway. It was said everywhere that the prince was organizing 3 days of ball for which he was inviting the most beautiful woman of the kingdom and... Maybe we can believe that, maybe not. We'll see. I'll be deciding. Wildly excited, Kionna intended to do everything she could to sneak in and get even with Griselda. I bet by get even you mean, you know, to still try to get him to confess to you or something like that, which is... I don't know, if she still wants that, I'm quite surprised. But on the other... Actually, no, I'm not surprised. It's Kionna we are talking about. Naturally, the news revived the excitement that had taken hold of the city during the tournament, and the retainers worked even harder to make the most splendid celebration ever. Right. In that climate of restlessness, that's an easy word actually, the young Moor was entrusted with more and more important tasks. Was he? That is how, on the day of the first ball, she was tasked with bringing... Did I say was he? Was she? She was tasked with bringing refreshments to Griselda's group, who was coming back from hunting. Oh boy. Although it was still morning, the rays of sunshine were already hitting hard and his entourage was boiling. That's it? Kionna had just returned from pastures when she was entrusted with the task, which puzzled her. Could she like get... why is she still in the donkey skin for? You would assume by now she would have like... the gourmets that people working in that castle normally wear, right? And again, she's weird, so... Both delighted and embarrassed, she grabs the heavy tray that was handed to her and hastens through the castle's corridors. What is that? One more time, please. What a funny sound. The sound of the hunting horn was already resonating under the archways, irrefutable proof that the horsemen were lining up in the courtyard. I say funny, I don't know what's the sound for the hunting, okay? I've never been to that. I've never seen one. And so on.
I must hurry. I must not keep him waiting.
Kionna's voice has changed. The princess accelerated, distraught at the idea that she could disappoint the prince. Right, I mean, like, who cares? She arrived just as the men were dismounting.
It is not too late yet.
She immediately put her tray on a barrel and started filling a gold cup with fresh hippocras. Naturally the... Wait, what? Gold cup. Right. Naturally the lord had to be served first, therefore she had to bring it to him. Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't even need to read right now to know what happened. Getting ahead of herself, Kionna forgot that the skin she wore was too long to allow that kind of movements, and she stumbled on one of the courtyard's cobblestone. See? I told you, you should have been wearing the clothes that people working there are wearing. It wouldn't happen otherwise. She fell flat on her face, instantly spilling the sacred beverage. Clap, clap. Grizzled squires who had witnessed the scene mockingly burst out laughing. I mean, on one hand, I feel bad because that happened to you. On the other, I'm not surprised he does that. Did that. He's doing that.
Ho ho ho! Look at this girl who does not even know how to serve a drink! What a piece of work, this servant! Count on her to carry out the simplest task with clumsiness! Ho 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 ho!
Grazing rolled the young woman laboriously recovered. The noble's jeering was wounding her in her princess pride. What pride? I mean, pride of what? Where it hurt the most, and she had to bit her lips to avoid responding. You like. I don't know, like, supposedly she's 17, but it seems like she has the brain of a 10-year-old or whatever. Like, what the heck? Brain does not freaking develop as fast as the body for her. Not like we can comment on that for considering she's whatever. Whatever. A silhouette then approached, and upon raising her eyes, she recognized her beloved, who she literally had no idea anything. She had no idea about anything about, but whatever. Just has that false image. Her face immediately lit up. A man as kind as him could only defend her against those oaths. Everyone laugh. Come on, right now. She realized that something was not quite right because of his stern and hard expression, but she did not expect to hear this.
Such a fool. And you claim to be your lord's vassal. Are you ever going to stand up?
Kionna could only mutter faced. I mean, I'm not surprised with that answer.
I thought the apologies will pour you a new drink at once.
And how do you plan to make amends for a foolish act, eh? Wasting Lord's wine is inexcusable, scullery maid. Oh, so this is how you pay. I know of punishment worthy of your incompetence.
Translating words into actions, Grizzled viciously kicked the young woman who was still on the ground. Whoa. There you have that great lord. There you go. I mean, on the other hand, I mean, should have listened to what a certain girl told you about him. But no, he's an image of perfection. As she was paralyzed by surprise, unable to defend herself, he copiously vented his anger, not hesitating to spit on her and hit her with his heels, and this even though he had kept his spurs. Once again, we have proof nobles equals garbage. The metal gear was pressed into her chest, forcing a cry of pain out of her as the horsemen were laughing heartily at her misfortune. Once the prince had finally calmed down, he forced her to hand refreshments out to his whole group, and she had no choice but to comply with shaking hands. After a few minutes, the man walked away, leaving her alone and deeply shocked. Not knowing how to react to what had just happened, Kionna brought back the tray to the kitchen and went to sit down beside the pillar with an empty stare. She could not comprehend, she could not find any meaning to this aberration. I should feel sorry, but again, at the same time, she literally created a fake image. And let's not forget, there was someone who told her about what the prince is like. Prince, king, whatever. Griselda. It's not his name, but whatever. I mean, changed a little bit on purpose. How could such a gentle... What are you talking about? Where... Whatever. How could such a gentle prince abuse her that way? Right. Should he not have whispered to her that it was alright and have reprimanded his horsemen for daring to make fun of her? Little by little, the smiling image she had of him when they had exchanged gallantries by the lake was fading away, replaced by the face twisted with rage that she had seen leaning over her. There you go, you have seen the true face.
No, this is not possible. I cannot believe this is the same person.
Oh my, are you going to lie to yourself still? Are you freaking serious? Give me the choice. I mean, can we like choose so she doesn't lie to herself? I mean, this is just being ridiculous right now. I mean, I guess there are people who would be like that, but whatever.
The real Griself would have never done anything to hurt me. He saw eternal love to me.
Right. Kionna used all her strength to hold the tears that were trying to slip out of her aching eyes. She should not be showing such a vulnerable part of herself. No. Suddenly a very real voice interrupted her lamentations.
Pumpkin?
The young woman jumped upon discovering her benefactress at her side.
Berify, what are you doing here? I saw you earlier. You didn't look so good. I tried to call you, but you didn't reply, so I got worried. Are you right?
Kionna hesitated. She very much wanted to tell Berify about her misfortunes to find some comfort in her, but the humiliation was too unfading to crushing. All she did at that instant was to forget to move on. She was not ready to swallow the terrible truth hidden behind the palace's adornments yet.
Nothing too serious. I'm just a bit tired. I feel weak and feverish. Perhaps am I simply sick?
In the head, yeah. I had to. But yeah, I mean...
If you're coming down with something, you absolutely should rest. Exceptionally, you're allowed to leave early, so eat and go to sleep. Thank you very much, Berify. Don't mention it. Regain your strength and quickly get better.
I totally don't make the same voices as I did last time. I don't remember them. Damn it. The priest was too reported sick and was allowed to return to her room, which was quite convenient. Once she was sure that she was alone, she exclaimed,
I swear on my life that I will eventually make Lord Griselda understand what my true value is.
Dude literally kicked you while you were on the ground. Why would you want to still follow after him? What is wrong with you, woman? What the hell is wrong with you? Oh boy. I mean, you know what? Seems like the whole family is flawed, in a way, if you think about it. Father trying to marry her daughter, now daughter being kicked by the guy and still wanting to go after him, like what the heck? Dude.
He did not recognize me earlier for I was disguised as a servant, but I'm going to show him who I really am. What are you talking about? How to...
Okay, do I not remember something or some... Do I not remember something? I mean, it's not like you've met him after being reborn. So what are you talking about? Or... Dude, here I go, like not recording for like 4 or 5 days or some... 4, I guess. Yeah, they haven't met here, right? Whatever. She was no longer letting depression overwhelm her. She was going to make the most of this opportunity to intrude on the ball. Oh boy. That night, oh boy, she'll... Oh, she's so dumb, man. She's so dumb. Why would you want this guy? I don't get it. It's beyond me. That night, the young woman prepared herself by washing her face, wiping her body, and doing her hair so that she would look better. So like what? Okay, maybe, but I guess back then not what you'd do every single day, but yeah. Then she slipped in a hallway that was not frequently occupied and hit the ground with the hazel rod she still had in her possession. Why couldn't you have done that? Okay, maybe no. Never mind what I just said. Or more like what I was trying to say. Makes sense. You don't want to go in that dress through entire area so someone sees you. Got it. Never mind. I have not said that, okay? I stopped myself. The magic chest appeared without delay, revealing the rich attires it was jealously guarding. Still, that chest could have been used in so many better ways.
Oh, how sweet it is to find yourself again!
Without further ado, Kionna donned the dress, the color of time, and headed for the hall where the ball was taking place. Dude. She's sick in the head. Let's see, archives. I'm leaving for the archives now. I want more to know more of the stories. What was it called? Come on. The shoes that were danced to pieces. Whoa. I don't know this one. Another tale told by the Grimm brothers in the second volume of Children's and Household Tales, 1815. The shoes that were danced to pieces. Les souliers à ball usés in French. My broken French, which I don't speak at all, by the way, so, you know. Introduces a strange mystery. Actually, it might be even a bad thing that I even try to read that, to be fair, given that I don't know French at all. Every night... The music got louder. Every night, 12 princesses are locked up in their bedroom. One bedroom, or each has separate one? Yet their shoes are found completely worn every morning. As if they have gone dancing. Okay. Mystified, the king promises his kingdom and the hand of one of his daughters to whoever can uncover the secret, but nobody manages to until an ordinary soldier tries his luck. And what, will he get married to all 12 of them or something? By now I would be surprised. On the advice of an old lady, who gave him an invisibility cloak. Yeah? He pretends to drink the wine offered by the princesses and discreetly follow them through a secret passageway. Okay, that is how he discovers that they are going to an underground kingdom every night to have fun. Hence the worn condition of their shoes. Yeah? Underground king, yeah? Let's go! Now that's what I'm talking about. Good job, 12 girls! Everyone led her by, including guards and retainers, for nobody recognized her, no surprise. She was indeed mistaken for a great princess for some reason, as she had regained her bearing and her confidence. However, clearly not brain. All the guests present were astounded by the beauty of the lovely girl, and there was not a single noble who was not enticed by her supreme charms or the magnificence of her attire. Well, I'm not a noble, so that explains. I also know her personality. Griselda himself noticed her. Oh boy.
Oh, never has there been a more beautiful creature. I need to take her as my wife.
Right. Achievement unlocked. Meet Griselda. What? But, I mean, technically we've met him. More like before, but... The prince went to meet this... graceful... Right. As we know from the previous scene. Offered his hand and danced with her. He did not even want to dance with another woman and always kept Kionna's hand close. What a weirdo. He spent the evening carting her in the most pleasant way possible, and she slowly felt her heart yielding to the 1,000 gallant remarks he was making. I mean, we well know that this is not her plan at all. Basically, I mean, she still wants him, right? But I don't know, was there any fairy tale where there was a girl who would be like to find the true side of prince or a noble or whatever, would be like approaching him as a like peasant and then approaching him as basically like a princess to see how he reacts to one and the other, to actually see the true face of the supposed noble slash prince? I would say that's what she should be doing now, to be honest, if she really wants to go after him. But, well, I mean, I guess she's still for some reason blinded by that imaginary vision of his. And she slowly felt her heart yielding to the 1,000 gallant remarks he was making. Jesus. She's so easy. The young Moor's plan seemed to be functioning perfectly. Her arrival had been successful, and Griselda only had eyes for her. It was almost too good to be true, but she could not help relishing that moment of glory she had aspired to for so long. What is wrong with you? In the bold arms of her beloved, all the sufferings she had endured since her exile were gradually vanishing. He literally kicked you 5 minutes ago. What the heck? Forgotten her disastrous escape into the forest, forgotten the harsh labor, forgotten Flora's betrayal. Flora done nothing wrong. Forgotten long days of hard work within the castle. You've been there like 4 days. Forgotten the dread she had felt upon approaching death. Forgotten the fact that, again, he kicked you. Even the cruel humiliations of that morning seemed more than insignificant. Yeah, totally. The guy kicked you, but yeah, it's insignificant. Yeah, totally. Must have been an error, a mishap. How is that an error? What are you talking about? In her case, it would never happen again. She was sure of it. Oh boy. We'll see. Highly doubt that. Kionna was a princess, a great lady admired by all. I would argue very much. And at the very moment, the man her heart desired was bewitched by her beauty, becoming again the gentle and friendly being she had imagined. She could only be over the moon, intoxicated by this familiar yet ephemeral sensation.
How charming you are.
Accurate voice of his.
Are you from this kingdom, mademoiselle? For I have never caught sight of creatures such as you at the court. Oh, I'm not from your stage, my lord. In fact, I come from a distant land. You therefore must not be surprised you have never seen me before. Oh, where are you from?
The young Moor was going to share the story of her exile with Griselda when she realized that it was the perfect opportunity to innocently take revenge for the mistreatment she had received. What? What? Instead of mentioning her father's kingdom, she thought best to give him a little clue.
Oh, I'm from the kingdom of Spoor.
Spoor? Spoor's Tottenham? What? London?
Thank you, mademoiselle. There go the violins again. Would you do me the honor of dancing with me once more? With pleasure.
Yeah, if she goes for some kind of revenge, I'm all for it. But I doubt she does that. However, it was getting late and the Harriers was worried that Berthy or one of the servants would notice her absence. Thus, she secretly decided not to stay for the whole festivities. Once the last dance was over, Kionna bowed down before the prince, and as he was turning around, she disappeared so quickly that nobody knew where she had gone. Terrible observation skills, huh? Griselda sent the castle guards to find her and question them, but no one had glimpsed the fugitive. And for good reason. She had sneaked outside, darkened her face, and hadn't put on her coat, and hadn't become donkey skin again. Again, I mean, terrible observation skills if they are not able to recognize her. Thus, she went back to her small room at a slow pace, without any worry of being exposed. Don't be too sure about that. Once again, that night, she closed her eyes while dreaming about her future wedding with the prince as she fell asleep with a pleased sigh. Sure. Yeah, right. Don't be surprised if after the wedding you will end up like in a dungeon chained to the walls. Just saying. Frick it. Let's go. The next day, the entire palace was only talking about the beautiful stranger and the mark she had left on the monarch. Who are talking? There was another one, a good one? But she's not wearing any shoes? What the hell? Put on some shoes, woman! What's wrong with you? I mean, everything, but... While going to the common room, the young Moor overheard some retainers whispering.
Did you hear the news? Then, what everyone's talking about? The ball, you mean, of course. Oh, our Lord Griselda has been asked to get married for months now, so certain that his attraction to a woman could cause a commotion. What's more, this maiden is rather mysterious. Living right in the middle of the ball, we had never seen anything like that before. It may be the fairy taking on the appearance of the woman out of love for the prince. His spells magic around little by little she would have fled, for fear of him finding out who she really was. Let's be serious here, okay? Come on, fairies don't mix with humans.
Yeah, I mean, I bet the one we know would not want that guy. She's not dumb, basically, that's why. Satisfied to have caused a sensation, Kionna went to execute her daily work while whistling with a light heart. Yeah, the prince will be whistling you. The beating sealed her chest search when she was asked to bring the prince his food during lunch. If Griselda had ignored her first time, she had no doubt that he would now recognize her on the spot if she were to manifest herself. Good luck with that! So she went to it with the enthusiasm, convinced that it was her chance. Oh boy. Get ready for another kicking. This time it was a small intimate meal, a fact she perceived as even more auspicious. There would only be Griselda, freshly returning from hunting, and his most loyal knights. Oh boy, this is not going to end well. Everything unfolded as usual, except for one detail.
Which of you here has ever heard of the king?
Oh wait, no, it was not that.
Which of you here has ever heard of the Kingdom of Spur?
By the way, next time I'm recording, I will not remember that voice. None of his men answered, as they were all unaware of the existence of that imaginary country, which annoyed the monarch. Dude, I know. London. Great Britain, come on. Spurs. Tottenham. Well, I guess Tottenham didn't exist back then yet.
Come on, this is ridiculous. I have browsed through all the volumes I have on hand from the beginning to the end, but nowhere is the country mentioned.
What are you blushing about? By the way, I forgot, but maybe over here we might find that freaking little punk. Not on the chair, for those look suspicious a little bit, that's for sure. They look a little bit like they might have something hidden, but I guess not. What's that in the top left corner? No? Okay. The young woman could not help smiling while clearing the noble's plates. Here I am here, right in front of you. Upon the sovereign's insistence to interrogate all of his subjects, Kionna slowed down her pace so that she would be the last servant still in the banquet hall at this particular moment of lunch. Gathering all of her courage, she raised her head and opened her mouth to intervene.
My lord, I think I know the answer. If you promise to trust me, I'll help you find the woman you're looking for and...
Griselda curtly interrupted her.
Silence, foolish girl! What would you have found? Wait, no, a simple like you, who does not even know how to read or write. Just promise me to put some trust in me and you will be satisfied, I swear. But quiet, you nasty prater. Who gave you permission to speak in the presence of your master? My apologies, I'll keep quiet if you wish so, but I will be gladly give you all my love to bring back a bit of happiness in your eyes. Why? Woman, seriously, what is wrong with you? Don't you see he doesn't care? The softness in her voice completely eluded the prince, who only became more exasperated by the harassed solicitude. One more word and I will choke you at once. I was merely worried about you, my lord. Why would you not shut up at this moment? What is wrong with you? Like, how dumb can you be? Why would you speak? Grizel jumped from his chair with a menacing look. Now you had it coming, foolish girl. Someone fetch me my horsewhip. Ooh. Oh boy. This would hurt. Oh, it hurt. Ay. As Kionna was standing still, frozen on the spot by the horror of the situation, he walked towards her with a sardonic grin. One of the squares present handed the horsewhip over to him, and she could only keep her eyes wide open. The man she loved so much, for who knows what reason, the man with whom she had languorously danced the night before, that same man was at the moment raising his arm to deal the first blow. A crack resounded. The young woman touched her cheek, reddened by the letter, and flinched. Wait, you? On the face? What the fuck, man? The nightmare was, whether it's face or not, it's messed up, but still, come on. The nightmare was starting again, but it was not over yet. I'm going to teach you a lesson that you will never forget, scullery maid. For them to defy your master, you will endure 20 whiplashes. The prince made a show of bravado meant for the people nearby. Come on, let us count together! And without further delay, he firmly grabbed Harry's arm to prevent her from escaping and started to lift her clothes to expose her body. She tried to struggle to turn away, but the bloody prince's grip was too strong and she was scared that any self-defense act would backfire. Good luck with self-defense here, come on. Come on. Let's not forget you were not able to get out of the grasp of two elderly people, basically. Anyway, he whispered in her ear, beware that you ever try to bite me or hit me, you'll be flogged 50 times instead. 50. She had no choice, no way out. So amid general laughter, Griselda hit her with his horsewhip 20 times. With obvious sadness, he was enjoying her cries and constantly trying to multiply them tenfold by lashing harder, by lashing faster. The more she screamed, the more the knights who were still sitting down were snickering. Bit by bit, she was becoming unable to process the extreme torment inflicted on her. She still felt that harrowing burn, but its psychological impact was not the same anymore, as if her mind had switched off, as if she was dead inside. Somewhere deep down inside, something had been lost forever. And never again would she be able to regain the innocence that had been characteristic of her. That naivety that Nahima liked so much. Yeah, well, maybe should have tried to make her less naive then, because you see what's happening. She only vaguely remembered what ensued. She had not been able to hear the end of the countdown. Her ears had sealed themselves at the same time as her soul. She had not resumed her service either. She had left the banquet hall in a deplorable state as soon as the prince had released her, passing the retainers she was usually working with in the process. She had dashed across the castle without stopping, not even when she had... Let's see if she will still be like, oh, I want the prince. Not even when she had heard her name. She had taken refuge in her attic room, where nobody would come fetch her.
Alone in the tiny dwelling, she adjusted her disordered clothes and realized at the same time that there were reddish marks on her arms, legs, and back. The horsewhip had marked her body and soul for life. Well, humiliated. Soul, yes. Body? I mean, probably reversible, right? Just call your fairy and you're good to go. Humiliated, bruised, the young woman could not hold back the float at the edge of her eyelashes. She burst into tears. Why? She screamed and cried for several long minutes, externalizing her distress as she had never done before. Finally, as the tidal wave was gradually wearing off, she suddenly distinguished a sound nearby.
For a little animal to be perfect, may I come in?
Unable to respond, Kionna led by a long silence broken by tears. The doors creaking revealed the concerned face of the cook who slowly entering the room before sitting next to her.
You passed me by earlier, and I could clearly see that you weren't doing well. I know I already asked you this question yesterday, but did something happen?
I mean, yeah?
You can talk to me, you know. I may not be able to do much, but I'm willing to help.
Moved by her benevolence, the young Moor carefully looked in her direction and discreetly sniffed.
The prophet yesterday and today against me. What? Oh, donkey skin, what happened exactly?
Well, she was being damp. I mean, in both situations, could have been avoided. Clothes aside, I mean... the trip earlier. I mean, I guess everyone could trip and so on, but... in her case, she literally tripped because she just literally didn't pay attention at all. And, well, the second... he told you to shut up, so shut up. It's better. I mean... honestly. How are you not learning, woman? You need to learn. Understanding that her prodigy would not say anymore, Perfy let out an alarmed sigh.
It's okay. You don't need to tell me the full story if you don't want to. Just know that I'm with you.
Thank you. Without a word, the cook took Kionna in her arms and stroked her head, which did her a world of good. I mean, I bet you will find out anyway what exactly happened from others. I bet everyone in the area already knows. How? She found in the display of affection the solace she so badly needed in such a difficult moment. As she was gradually calming down, her mentor spoke.
My poor child. I wish I could promise you that it would happen again. Unfortunately, it's not the first time Lord Griselda has acted this way.
Got him.
What do you mean? The prince is regularly subject to uncontrollable fits of anger.
Here we go.
It has been going on for years, since his childhood. Even then my master had told me about it. How so? The prince frequently lashes out at his retainers at the slightest vexation. He only keeps the image of a young attractive man because his victims are often too scared to speak about it to anyone at all. I've seen a girl silently wasting away before because he was persecuting her, and the very few witnesses were too frightened of suffering the same fate to intervene. The poor girl ended up disfigured.
I'm not saying, I mean, I was pretty accurate with the dungeon and being chained there, but that was pretty close.
Disfigured! He gashed her face, that beast.
Well, he did hit Kionna over here in the face as well, supposedly, right? So.
What happened to the servant after that?
Well, definitely not anything good.
I do not know. She has mysteriously disappeared.
So either. Honestly, I think we can assume the worst outcome. He probably continued until that person, like, completely, you know, vanished from existence. Or she's chained in the dungeon, as I'm saying. You know, nobles, you know. Anyway,
Some say that she jumped off the dungeon. And that her body rests at the bottom of the moat. Other claims that she simply ran away and that she's now leading a better life in another city.
I wonder if we can believe that one.
Personally, I'd like to believe that she's still alive somewhere and that she's okay. Why did you not say anything? Because you wouldn't listen anyway, goddammit. Because you wouldn't...
Oh!
I totally was not looking at the screen when I said that. And yeah, let's go. That's what she said. Whoo!
Oh boy. Berfew, we are on the same wavelength. High five.
I tried to get to understand it was pointless to idolize the prince. That's all I could do at the time. It doesn't mean that it's your fault. I mean... Quite the contrary. Simply nothing good will ever come out of the feelings you harbor for him. There's not a man worthy of your love, donkey skin.
Someone already said that before. Kind of, in a way. After some comforting words, Berfew expressly asked the young woman to rest as she was leaving the room.
A new file has been added to the archives. That's what we are waiting for. Archives. Griselda.
Free? Free. Oh yeah, there was 1 and 2, that's true. What was that about? Oh, okay, I totally remember. Whoa. Damn, the eyes. Bluebird. Unfortunately, the idyllic wedding hardly lasts. Indeed, Griselda turns out to be such a good princess that her husband convinces herself that it is impossible for her to be genuine. Thus, he starts tormenting her by locking her up in her room and asking her to return all the gifts he has given her. Since she complies without batting an eyelid, he decides to be even harsher and takes away their newborn child by proclaiming that they can never receive a good education with a mother like her. The princess obeys again, regretfully. But it is not enough yet, so he goes as far as pretending that their little girl, who he just entrusted to a monastery, has died. Griselda is devastated, but she does the best she can to console her spouse, who she believes to be as sad as she is, and it calms him for a while. 15 years later, the king learns that his daughter is in love with a young noble and decides that this is a perfect opportunity to turn their wedding into a especially perverse deception supposed to prove his wife's godness. Without telling any of the concerned parties, he publicly announces that he's going to marry the young girl and repudiates Griselda on the pretext of not being worthy of him. The day of the wedding, he goes to find her and asks her to take care of the bride, which she does, obediently. She only begs him to be kinder with his new wife than he has been with her, but he rebuffs her. Finally, when the time comes, he publicly tells the truth and Griselda is canonized as a model of virtue, while lovers reunite with... Really? She's weird, by the way. I mean, what the freak? Duty's control freak. Come on. Run away from him. Left alone, Kionna was in full mental confusion. I'm like that constantly around her. She had wanted to believe that the misadventure with the Spur was just a mishap. Yet the horsewhip incident had finished shaking her beliefs. Was Griselda the man she thought she knew? How could he present her both his most endearing face and his most odious one? The argument she had with Flo came back to her. Oh boy, I don't remember her voice. The farmer had revealed the mistreatments her family had endured from the sovereign, and she had denied the whole thing. That's right.
A man as kind as Prince Griselda would never do such a heinous thing. Would you dare say... Would you dare... Fuck. Would you dare say that I'm lying?
If Berfew was being true, then it was very likely that Flo's account was trustworthy as well. It was not very likely. It was 100% sure. But conceding that would amount to confess that she had been wrong, that she had been mistaken about Griselda from the very beginning, because you were, god damn it.
It cannot be. My judgment could not possibly have been impaired by some artifice.
What the fuck are you doing? Why? Like, just why? What the heck? Did you not get enough? Oh my god. Although she was scared to discover the man she loved acted like a monster, Kionna was still clinging to the last glimmer of hope she needed to be sure. Sure of what? Fine, go. I mean, we'll see tomorrow when you get freaking 50 lashes. Till she swiftly cleaned herself up, tied herself in a dress the color of the moon, and went to the second ball looking like a king's daughter. She's so dumb. Just like the night before, her entry caused quite a stir, and the guests admired her rich garments. The prince came to meet her, delighted to see her again.
Oh, mademoiselle! You're the shift from last night, I beg of you. Tell me what country you're from.
I'm from the kingdom of Horsewhip.
Oh, you have my gratitude, for I am hope to ask for your hand in marriage. In the meantime, pray you will accept this dance.
Cradled by the tender arms of Griselda, Kionna felt her anger leaving her little by little because he's... What is wrong with you, woman? Like, oh... The magic of the moment was too strong and she had to deploy wealth of energy to keep a cool head and finally ask the question that were growing at her.
My lord!
Oh.
My lord, I would like to know more about you and your way of governing. How are you reigning over your subjects? Oh, what an odd question. I suppose that it depends on the subjects. I have my heart set on ruling through admiration among my closest vassals. All the noblemen and noblewomen here with us have to envy my way of life and what I own.
I mean, it's just like her, basically.
I need to embody perfection, force them to surpass themselves in the hope of achieving something comparable one day.
Oh, my mind is truly interesting way of governing. No, it's not. What about your other vassals then? The farmers, tailors, artisans, for instance? The young man pouted and briefly shrugged.
I hardly concern myself with what the masses think of me. I give myself up for maintaining order, as any good king has the duty to do.
Does this mean that you are willing to resort to physical abuse and torture if necessary?
Oh, to maintain order, naturally. Society has assigned roles to us positions, everything must be in proper place. As king, it is my duty to sit on the throne and live that desirable life of luxury. Likewise, peasants are born to serve me and they ought to, not to rebel. A servant who would not know their place, who would call my status in question, needs to be punished.
The Harris shuddered from that mention. Grizzle was clearly making reference to what had happened during lunch, but he did not seem to show any remorse. Worse still, it appeared natural to him. He thought he was well within his rights. I see. Uneasy, the young Moor progressively became dead silent. She only responded to Grizel's courtly speech with weak smiles and was already feeling out of place. Suffocating, she resolved to leave the ball prematurely. Once the dance was over, she disappeared so quickly again that the prince could not figure out where she had gone. Here we go. Kionna returned to her bedroom in a miserable mood. Will she finally realize the truth, or will she still keep being stupid? Let's find out, maybe. Deep down inside, the prince had hoped that Grizel would have refuted, that he would have sworn he had never laid hands on his servants. Wait, so you wanted him to lie to you? Great. But on the contrary, he had revealed to her that he had no problem using violence against those who have the audacity not to know their place, without the shadow of doubt. Paradoxically, she should not have seen anything wrong with that. After all, she had been raised with similar ideas, with the certainty that servants were merely objects, that it was possible to treat them as they see fit. Which you do see people... yeah, I would say she does see people like that, but... But she had gone through the looking glass. She had experienced the life of a retailer, and above all, she had been beaten up. Twice. How could she still have faith in the sovereign so choleric and violent? What guarantee could she have that such violence would not turn against her? That he would not try to beat her once she would be his queen? I mean, bold of you that you would be a queen. Queen in a name only. If his subjects were merely objects he could rid himself of at leisure. Was he not going to treat his wife the same? Would whiplashes become her daily reality? I would not be surprised at all. It was with that visceral anguish in her stomach that Kionna laboriously fell asleep. Did I say? Laboriously, sorry. Her dreams were infected, offering dreadful visions of the abuse her new husband might be ready to inflict on her. And freaking stop thinking of him as the freaking... Let's end it for today. I mean, I'm totally recording one more today, but let's end it for the episode and we'll continue in the next one, which will be published on YouTube tomorrow! Dude. I mean... that girl really needs to learn a little bit, because... she clearly does not do that. She's clearly like going the most tough path without really need for that. But well, whatever. We'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes. I can beat the feeling that if we go with his supposed ending, it's going to be something bad, basically. Honestly, all things considered, you know, what the guy is doing is too much, so I don't want to get her to go through that. Oh, if there is a dead end, I'm definitely triggering it. But let's not go with stuff that this guy is doing. Yeah, that's too much. That's for sure. Anyway, that's not it. We'll continue tomorrow. Hope you like the video, of course. If you did, you know, consider liking, obviously. If you're new around, subscribe. Also, the game is linked in the description, so you can get it yourself on Steam. Also, you can find it on itch.io if you're into that platform more. With all of that being said, hope you all have a wonderful day. And don't try to follow after someone the way she does. Because that's basically ridiculous. Because she literally created the image of the guy without knowing anything at all, which is plain stupid. Anyway, let's go and finish for today. Bye bye!